Yeah, good evening, MC. We can start in 2 minutes. Yeah, 7:05 we will
Sure,
start.
sure.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Aisha, you can start.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very good evening to everyone joining us today. I am Aisha Rangsi, your host for this evening. It's both an honor and a pleasure to be a part of this event. On behalf of Jeddah CIGI Women Collective and CIGI Jeddah, it gives me great pleasure to warmly welcome you all to this special online workshop titled Mastering LinkedIn. We are delighted to have you as today and look forward to an informative and enriching session together. Let us begin this event with the recitation of Holy Quran. I now invite Master Umar Rafiq to recite a few verses from the Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم ملك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Jazakallah khairan, Umar. Every successful initiative is guided by a strong vision and leadership. It is now my honor to invite a respected chairman of CIGI Jeddah chapter, Mr. Muhammad Kunni, to inaugurate the event and share his message with us.
Good evening, all the participants across the globe. It's really a pleasure and honor to welcome you all to this wonderful, exciting seminar on mastering the LinkedIn. All those who are attending for the first time, CIGI, Center for Information Guidance of India, it's a center for innovation, growth, and impact. It's committed to empowering the individuals through knowledge sharing, skill development, leadership grooming, and career-oriented activities. CIGI consistently works towards creating the platform that connect learning with real-world impact, especially for the professionals and job seekers striving for growth in today's competitive environment. We are gathered here today not for just another webinar, but for the beginning of a powerful journey that can help turn your career dreams into reality. The presence of over 600 participants in our WhatsApp group and around 200 plus in the Zoom, it shows that it gives us a message, three messages basically. One is it shows the credibility of the organizer, which is the CIGI, and also the esteemed speaker, and the third, the importance of the topic itself. So we are fortunate to have two vibrant speakers, Dr. Sangeeth Ibrahim and also his son, Amaan Iqbal Ibrahim. Dear friends, in today's world, CV alone is no longer enough. A strong LinkedIn profile is your digital identity. It showcases your personality, your skills, and professional value to the world. And how to build it effectively, and how to create the opportunities, and how to master the professional networking, these are exactly what we're going to learn today from these two vibrant resource persons in this field. And we are truly fortunate to have these two gentlemen for this training. And Dr. Sangeeth Ibrahim is a renowned career coach, a well-known person, trainer, and a motivational speaker. And he's also a CIGI resource person from Dubai chapter. A personality who has positively transformed the career paths of countless young professionals. And alongside, we have also Amaan Iqbal Ibrahim, the two generations, we can say. So we are really fortunate to have even his son as one of our resource person, a clinical psychologist in training, a seven-time TED speaker. I think it is first time in our history or in our CIGI Jeddah chapter history that the father and son duo is presenting the same topic, which is LinkedIn, even though they are covering the different module. One, Dr. Sangeeth will be covering the strategic part, and Amaan will be taking us to the detail and the tools. He'll be, introducing the tools of a LinkedIn and bringing together the wisdom and experience with fresh perspective from the new generations. So this session definitely will add a value to all of us present here. Dear participants, I urge you to attend this today's session with open mind. Ask questions. Even during the training, during the presentations, you can post your comment, you can post your concern, you can post your questions in the chat box. And we'll be having a Q&A session after the two presentations. We'll be having 45 minutes presentation from Dr. Sangeeth's side, and Amaan also will take you through another 45 minutes. And at the end, we'll be having a Q&A session. So don't leave this seminar or don't leave this Zoom without clearing all your doubts, all your questions and concerns. And because we know that LinkedIn, if you use LinkedIn correctly and effectively, when I was discussing with Dr. Sangeeth Ibrahim, he was telling that you don't need to have a premium account. Even with a basic account, you can do lots of things. It is just because we don't know how to use it. We don't know how to use it effectively. So definitely this session will take us through the entire features of LinkedIn. And if you use it correctly, opportunities will start coming to you. I'm sure, I'm confident. So having said this, I call this meeting to order. Thank you and wish you all a highly enriching session. Over to you, MC Aisha.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging words. Today's session will be led by Dr. Sangeeth Ibrahim, and the second session will be conducted by Mr. Amaan Iqbal Ibrahim. Once both sections conclude, we'll have a question and answer session. So please feel free to note down your questions as we go along. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are privileged to witness something truly special. This workshop brings together experience and innovation, legacy and the future through a remarkable father-son duo. Together, they represent two generations united by one mission, empowering people to build meaningful and successful careers. Dr. Sangeeth Ibrahim is an international speaker and leadership expert with over 20 years of experience shaping high-performance cultures across the Gulf. He currently heads learning and development at the leading government entity in UAE, where he drives leadership capability and organizational excellence. An engineer, an MBA by training with a PhD in employee retention and engagement, and over 12 professional accreditations, he blends academic depth with real world insight. An award winning change maker, best selling author, and a TEDx speaker, Dr. Ibrahim is known for powerful, transformative sessions that inspire people to think bigger, lead better, and create lasting impact. I now invite our first keynote speaker to take over the session and guide us through mastering LinkedIn. Dear friends, join me in welcoming Dr. Sangeeth Ibrahim. Over to you, Dr. Sangeeth.
Sister Aisha, thank you for the lovely, lovely introduction. And Brother Muhammad, mashallah, what a great opening. Special day for me, co-hosting, co-facilitating this with my son. We're doing it for the first time virtually. A little bit of unhealthy competition back at home. So my request is when you share feedback, do say that the father was better than the son, yeah? Good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. It's a pleasure to have you all here with us. Wishing you all a wonderful, wonderful 2026. May God Almighty bless us all with loads of health, great relationships, loads of money, happiness, and career success as well. The title is Mastering LinkedIn, right? But the problem is LinkedIn is a tool, like your treadmill is a tool. The treadmill that we have at home. So if someone gives you a book that says 100 ways to use the treadmill, that's not going to help us lose weight, right? At the end of the day, you need to have a goal. You need to have a passion goal. You need to have a plan. You know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do that tomorrow. And discipline as well, where you say, oh, you know, it's late. It's cold. I've got a bit of a body pain, but still I'll go ahead and do that. So it's the mindset that matters much more than the tool. Think of a person who's got an anger management issue. You know, he screams at his wife, he throws stuff at his kids. And if you show him a video saying that manage your anger, most probably he'll say, Habibi, I don't have an anger problem. Yeah, this is the way to manage them. Have you seen my wife? Have you seen my child? Yeah, so the guy probably might even deny that a problem is existing. So it's not the tool, once again, it's the mindset that matters. So today we need to probably start working on the mindset. So that's what I'll do in my session. And then I'll leave the details to Amaan, the nitty-gritties to Amaan. Because what's extremely important is before we conclude today, all of you deciding that, you know, inshallah, from today, I'm going to use LinkedIn day in and day out to get better job opportunities. That decision is extremely important.
That exactly is our objective. That exactly is our objective.
Exactly. So we need to work on the mindset first. The goal, the plan, and the discipline. As Amitabh Bachchan would say, parampara, pratishta, and anushasan. Yeah, these would be that would be number one on our agenda. So to do that, let me start with a question. Okay, but honest answer. Don't give me politically right answers. Let me try sharing the screen here. What you can do is probably open.
You can do that, yeah.
Okay, no, I think I need to just give me a second. I need to start presenting and then share the screen, right? Yeah. Can you go to menti.com, menti.com? And if you go there, you can enter this code. Let me put this in the chat box as well. Okay, so you don't have to do anything. Just go to the chat box and click on that link, okay? So the question is, are you actively looking for a job? So you've got two options. If you click on that link, you get two options. I'm actively looking for a job. And when I say actively, that means day in and day out, yeah? You spend hours looking for jobs. Or, you know, I'm not actively looking for a job. I would love to. if someone gives me a job on a golden platter, if someone drags me into an interview room, if someone brings loads of wasta and and who someone holds a gun to my head and said, take a better job. Okay. Guys, no politically right answer, yes? Please be honest. So this is almost an even mix, right?
Yeah, 57 and 66.
Okay, good, brilliant, thank you. Kudos to all those who said you're actively looking for jobs, and I hope it's true, it's honest. Now, I need to speak to those who said, I'm not actively looking for a job, okay? This is my first objective. And let me tell you, based on my experience of having worked with people in this domain, the reasons why they, let me close this, the reasons why they might not be looking for a full-time job. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Are you able to see my screen? Okay, brilliant. There could be two reasons. I'm now talking about the 50%, yeah, who said that you're not actively looking for a job. Number one reason could be, Habibi, yeah, khalas, and I've got a good job, and I don't want to upset the cut. I don't think I'll get anything better. Or the second thing would be, you know what? My job is secure. I'm going to die and I'm going to be buried in this organization. I'll never lose my job. So I want to give you personal examples. Today's training, by the way, guys, there's a difference between a travel agent and a tour guide. You know the difference? The travel agent, if you go to a travel agent, he'll show you brochures and he'll show you videos of places he might never have gone, right? It's easy to do that. You have ChatGPT, you can pick stuff from YouTube and other resources. But a tour guide comes with you, right? So he takes you on a walk, he shows you the places. So Amaan and I, today, we're going to be tour guides. We're going to only tell you things that we have done. Okay? We're not going to be inspired by things that are available, tried and tested available stuff. So it's all personal stories here. Okay? So the first one, I'm sure many of you feel that, khalas, I've got a good job, I won't get anything better. So let me tell you a personal story. If you've heard this before, it's worth hearing it again.
Yeah, there is some one participant is asking why there is a third option is not available, like the business entrepreneurs.
That's fine. I'm only talking about people who are in the job market. Yeah.
Okay.
I respect the entrepreneurs and respect those who have other options.
Business. Yeah.
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 This was back in 2002. So I had just come to the UAE after my engineering and my MBA, and I had a reasonably okay job. I was living in a single bedroom apartment in Sharjah, and I was driving not a second hand, a 10th hand car. Yeah. And I was thinking, whoa, alhamdulillah, I've made it big because I had my family. Amaan was only, I think, 2 or 3 years old then. And I get a call one day from my wife's grandfather. And he says, Edi Koya Sahib from Talasheri, he calls me and says, you know what, Sangeeth, we are looking for a groom for Sunaina's sister, my wife's sister. And this groom is based in Abu Dhabi. The prospective groom is based in Dubai. Can you please call him? So I called him. I was given the number. And I asked him, where are you? What are you doing? He said, I'm in the gym. Okay. Asked him, where are you? Which gym are you in? So he said, I'm at Jumeirah Beach Hotel. So that gave me a bit of a heartburn, yeah, because Jumeirah Beach Hotel is in Dubai is one of the premium hotels. And I thought, the guy might have got some free passes, yeah. Then he invited me home, and when he gave me the address, so I knew he was born and brought up in Dubai. I knew that this guy is a graduate. He's a graduate and he's got a job in Dubai. So he invited me home. So my wife and I, we went there, and Amaan, we went there, and he was staying on Al Musa Tower. Now, Al Musa Tower is on Sheikh Zayed Road, which is the most premium real estate space in Dubai. People who know Dubai would know, right? And then you walk into his apartment, it was like almost like a penthouse, yeah, with huge glass windows. You can see the Burj. We settled down. I was very quiet, yeah. And I'd done my research. I spoke to people, and I was told that this guy was drawing. He was probably 4 years younger than me. He was drawing maybe 6 times my salary. 6 times my salary, yeah. Me after my engineering and my MBA and experience and all that. Luckily, alhamdulillah, he looked at me, looked at my wife. She wears the hijab and said, Sangeeth ka, culturally, I won't fit in your family. Yeah. So I don't think this will go ahead. And I said, alhamdulillah. Because you know why? Just imagine the second brother, the second son-in-law of the house, younger than me, not qualified than me, probably drawing 6 times more than me. And that marriage didn't happen. Yeah. So I was quite happy that it didn't happen. But that opened my eyes. That literally opened my eyes, saying that this is a world where there are so many opportunities. And I've seen this many times. If you think you could be a teacher, you could be an auditor, you could be a banker, you could be I don't know, a lawyer, and you think that you have a reasonably good salary, there could be people in the same market drawing 5 times more, 6 times more. I know office managers, executive assistants who are drawing 60,000, 70,000 dirham salaries in Dubai. Okay, it's not because if I speak in my language, it's not that there's something special. It's just that they were there at the right place at the right time. So if you guys think, this is it, I can't get anything better, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. And that should not be the reason which stops you from looking for a better job. Okay. Now let me shift to the second part. I'll never lose my job. I'm loyal. The organization loves me. I've been here for ages and I'll continue. Let me fast forward to the year 2020. Okay. Remember those days, COVID and masks and problem, the economy had shut down. By the time I had become a hero in the corporate world, yeah, conducting a lot of trainings and stuff like that. I was working in an organization for 13 years and I published a book called How to Recession-Proof Your Career. Agaga, How to Recession-Proof Your Career. This is the title of the book. This was the book launch. It was a bestseller on Amazon UAE for almost 2 weeks. Okay. And 2 weeks after publishing this book, I was fired from my job. Well, you could say it in a better way. I was made redundant, or the organization was downsizing. But the truth is, I was fired. Okay, and that was during COVID. So that's when I realized anything could happen. I mean, I was given a hefty bonus that year. I'd done something really good, a lot of good projects, but there was a management change, and khalas, this happened. So don't feel that your organization owes you anything. Anything can happen, particularly with what is happening in the AI space. We could have talked, because this is an area of specialization for me, because I'm currently trying to see how jobs are changing based on existing AI capabilities. So if you can look at the chart, you can see Saudi Arabia, you can see UAE, every country. By the way, if there are any teachers in the audience today, teaching is the job which has got, at the moment, the least probability of getting fully automated by AI. Yeah. So teachers will survive. If you look at manufacturing, if you look at banking, if you look at construction, the prospects of AI-based automation are huge. So the point I want to make, Habibis, never stop job hunting. Again, I'm not talking about entrepreneurs. If you think you won't lose your job, you may lose your job. If you think that I won't get a better job, you're wrong as well. So you need to always, always keep job hunting. Can I get a promise from all of you to change your mindset? Regardless of what I'm doing, where I am, how much I'm drawing, number of years of experience, the industry that I'm in, the kind of respect I get from the organization, regardless, you need to be always job hunting. Yeah? Ali, you've raised your hand. You have a question? Someone has a question? Oh, no, it's come down. Okay. So now, yes, Mr. Rahim. If you have a question, you can unmute and ask, or otherwise I'll proceed. Okay, so let's go ahead. Yeah. So 2 things from my experience. When it comes to job huntings, people think that forwarding CVs will help. On a weekly basis, I might get maybe around 7 or 8 CVs. And I tell them honestly, Habibi, don't do this. It gives you a false sense of achievement, right? I've forwarded my CV to 100 people. You feel as if you've done something. Nobody will do anything. For a forwarded CV to work, someone has to first of all open it, zoom it, see value in it, and then send it to someone, and then convince that person, and that person has to take initiative. Nothing is going to happen. The only thing that will happen is if you have applied somewhere. So when someone sends me a CV, I'll tell them, Habibi, please, don't. I know you might not like this. If you have applied somewhere, let me know. I can probably speak to somebody in HR we know as part of the fraternity, and I'll ask them to take a look at your CV. But just forwarding CVs don't work. Second is placement agencies. If there are recruitment agents in the audience today, don't take it personally. The problem with placement agents are, if they want you, like my last job, I was headhunted. Yeah, if they want you, they'll haunt you day in and day out. They will haunt you. But otherwise, when you are on the searching side, it's very tough to get access to placement agents. And the problem with them is they're allowed to give only 1 or 2 CVs for a position, right? So suppose the employer says 7 years of experience and you have 9 years of experience, they won't forward your CV. And your logic is, come on, is 9 better than 7? But it doesn't work. So if these two don't work, ta-tang, what works? This is God's gift to job seekers. Okay, the greatest thing that has happened to job seekers worldwide, which is LinkedIn. Let me now introduce my profile to you. This is my profile page. Please feel free to connect with me. I've got at the moment 29,428 followers. Now, some of you must be thinking, what is this? On Instagram, I've got 1 million. It's different, right? Because on LinkedIn, you only select people that you want to select, right? So and it's a professional network. So only 1% of LinkedIn users, and LinkedIn has close to, I don't know, 10, 15 million users. Only 1% have more than 10,000 connections. And if you've got more than 10,000 connections, you're called a super connected. Yeah. So I've got 29,428 followers. Don't think that, why is this guy showing off? I'm showing off a bit, but the whole objective is to convince you that this is easy and this is possible. Now, how does this work? Okay. So if you guys go to your LinkedIn profile, and then if you go down, you go to the analytics bit. Okay. What you see is, for example, in the last 1 week, I've had 21,468 impressions. 21,468 professionals have looked at my post. My follower base has increased by 0.3% in the last seven days. Look at what's interesting, 846 profile views. Now, profile views are not people looking for content. Profile views are people looking for people. They'll go into your profile and see, where's this guy working? 846 in 1 week. And then 288 search experiences. So when people searched for some profile, I came up 288 times in 1 week. So that means there is a market for my role, right? People are looking for roles, either mine or very similar to mine. And that sort of excites me. But this is possible because of the work I do. Yeah. And I don't have a premium account. I don't spend a dirham on LinkedIn. I make sure that I at least put 2 posts a week. Some posts succeed. You can see 333 likes and 14 comments. That was for the new year, because 2025 is the year of the family. You can see that some posts are bland, 13, 14, but it's okay. At least 2 posts a week, and at least 5 or 6 comments and likes, and engage with the contents of others in a week. Okay. Comments are much more powerful, because when you comment, your role score increases as per LinkedIn protocol. Yeah. I post a lot of videos. You can see that some videos are do well. Some of them have got 103, 142 likes. Again, don't compare it to Instagram. Yeah. It's a different profile of users, right? And some of them don't do really well. Now, the time I spend on this, so some of you must be wondering, what is the point? What is the use? Let me show you. This is my show off time. Okay. If you go to Google and search for sneakers, let's see what comes up. First, Sun and Sand Sports. Those who are in search engine optimization would know how much Sun and Sand Sports would have spent to be number 1 on a Google search list. Yeah. You've got SEO managers, you've got ad spends. The second one is Nike, international brand. That's number 2. Yeah. So, and imagine the strategy, the time that they spend. Ta-tang, search for Director Financial Academy. Yeah, there are hundreds of directors, hundreds of financial academies, and the first name that comes up is mine. So I'm on par with LinkedIn. I'm on par with Nike in the industry. Not easy. So if there's someone, a recruiter or an HR manager looking with these two keywords, this is what comes up. And there's an AI, that Gemini opens up an AI interface, yeah, and it says the financial academy. It gives an example of a financial academy in Saudi Arabia, and it gives an example of my employer, and it says, directors are important people like Mana Al Khamsan and Dr. Sangeeth Ibrahim. It doesn't know my salary, it doesn't know my experience. It is purely based on the way I've used LinkedIn strategically. Yeah. If you search for my previous job, because of the work I've done, if someone says, okay, some recruiter wants to search head of learning and development in a bank, again, hundreds of banks, hundreds of heads of learning and development, the first hit comes to me. Again, this is because of LinkedIn, only because of LinkedIn. So on the LinkedIn domain, guys, this is how I am. You can imagine that Vijay song, that movie Master, and this is I am, super proud.
Super.
Yeah, 1% of the users because of the hits. Now, some of you might be skeptical to think, oh no, it might happen for anybody. Let me challenge you, okay? If you search for procurement manager logistics, imagine there are a lot of procurement managers, right? In the logistics industry, you don't get a name. You only get jobs because there's no procurement manager in the world, in this part of the world, who is optimized his LinkedIn profile. If you search for auditor banking, again, what are you expecting? There are a lot of auditors, and auditors are serious people, right? What do you expect? Nothing. You get just jobs. So that's the beauty of working actively on LinkedIn. Okay. So I want to challenge you now. Can you go to Google while working? You don't have to log off from today's session. Go to Google, enter your role. You could be sales manager, you could be senior school teacher, you could be I don't know, you could be a lawyer. Put a comma and put the industry. Could be logistics, could be whatever. Just enter your role and your industry and click search on Google. Does your name come up first? Does your name come up second? Does your name come up third? So that's an opportunity that you're missing. And that's the beauty. That's why I'm saying it's God's gift to job seekers. Yeah. Now, if you're thinking, oh my God, how can I put so many posts? I'm suggesting that you post twice a week, right? I'm suggesting that you put comments 2 or 3 times a week. How can you do that? Guys, now we don't have an excuse, right? So this is I'll share this slide deck with you all. This is a prompt that I use on ChatGPT because I work as a head of learning and development. And I tell ChatGPT, I should be aware of the latest trends and best practices in L&D. List them for me, topic and summary. Whenever I say update me. So now this gets saved. Whenever you give this prompt, says whenever I say, whenever I request, and in inverted commas, you say something. Anytime, day in, day out, you say update me. What comes is something like this. So these are some of the latest trends in learning and development. Then I look at them and then I'll give the next prompt. Please give me a LinkedIn post in my style. If you've engaged with AI for at least a year, the AI clearly knows your style. Okay, so whenever I ask for something, it comes up in it uses the word family, warm, friendly, and stuff like that. Okay, just a couple of lines on AI augmented L&D with a nice minimalistic image to go with it. The text shouldn't look AI created. Avoid Oxford commas. Students will know when you ask something from AI. There's something called as an Oxford comma. Before an and, it puts a comma. Usually, you don't do that. So remove it, and don't give sets of threes. Something that can help people spot AI quickly is if you ask how is the morning, ChatGPT will reply, the morning was romantic, cold, and misty. If you ask somebody, how is Sangeeth Ibrahim? They'll say handsome, dashing. So it's always sets of threes. So I wanted to avoid that. So what you do is you give this and you get your LinkedIn post. So you don't have an excuse now saying that I can't post content. All you need to do is, and ChatGPT free version, yeah? You don't even have to have an enterprise version for this. Keep adding posts regularly. So our first challenge for today, if you guys have really decided that you will use LinkedIn, inshallah, I'm talking about the 50%, yeah, that you'll use LinkedIn actively. What you need to do is give a challenge for yourself. Say that within 3 months, if I search for role, teacher, education, or sales manager, lighting, accountant, travel and tourism, or whatever, the first name that Google should bring up should be mine. And I'll do it free of charge. I'll do it without spending a buck, so that when recruiters look for me, this would be the best option. And to do that, at least 2 posts a week, no excuses. Now, LinkedIn can, ChatGPT can do it for you, Gemini can do it for you, Perplexity can do it for you, Bard can do it for you, yeah, Grok can do it for you. So make it a practice to do that, yeah. Now, I wanted to present 2 strategies which will really, really change the game for you. The first one, I want to call it a reactive strategy. Reactive strategy is waiting for job offers, right? So what do? You go to the job tab. I hope you know where the job tab is, right? The job tab is on LinkedIn. You have the home tab, you have the network tab, and you have the job tab. If you go to the job tab, you can search for the job that you want. You can search for the location. You can filter it based on seniority, whether it's virtual or on-site. Was it recently posted? When you say search, it'll ask you, do you want to put an alert? So you put an alert. You can put alerts for multiple jobs. For example, my job might be advertised as director training. My job could be advertised as senior director training, could be advertised as head of talent or educational strategy. So look at keywords and then keep alerts for it. That is number 1. Okay. Now, setting up alerts is easy, right? Anybody can do it. What you need to do is when you search and you find a list of companies listed, well, even if the job is not your perfect match, apply for the job. Okay, because it's important to flood the databases, the ATSs of the world with your CVs. So at least if someone looks at it, it adds to mind space. Someone is going through your CV. Visibility matters. Apply for it. But when you apply, the biggest mistake people do is, I know, I mean, this must have been done to death, but I wanted to speak about it nevertheless. How many jobs have you applied? I've applied for 5 jobs. How many CVs do you have? I have 1 CV. Doesn't work, right? Guys, I hope you know this, right? I hope that every LinkedIn or be it an organization, there's an applicant tracking system. And what it does is it ranks your CV based on how similar it is to the job description given. People know this, but they don't apply this. So now look at examples, yeah? So the first CV that is shown is Jason's because there's a 92% match. And now you can beat the system. It's very simple, right? You can beat the system. There's another way to look at it. You can go to this website. You can upload your CV and you can post the job ad. And you can ask, is there a match rate? First time I did that, my match rate was less than 20%. I had a CV that looked like a, in my language, Kalyana Vidu, like, 10 pages in color and font and stuff. But it was not going through because the match rate was less than 20%. So how do you do it now? You go to ChatGPT or you go to AI, you upload the CV, you copy paste the JD. And as long as you're not lying, it's okay, Yani. You say, can you please amend my CV to reflect the keywords and skills in the JD? So if you're from the same industry, I'm not saying if you have 5 years, say that you have 10 years, but there are ways in which you can tweak your CV. You're not lying. because it's so important to reach the stage of the interview, right? That's where you can really showcase your skills. Do that. Go back to this particular website, see the match, and only when you feel that the match is 90-95%, you go and apply. Does it cost you anything? No, just some time. Yeah, but that's the only way where you can be noticed. Otherwise, I've seen a lot of people tell me I have applied, nothing happened. Yeah, because it's gone in the dungeon of maybe hundreds and thousands of CVs of people who are applying. You need to strategically make sure that your CV reaches the top. Is that enough? No. This is where the game begins, okay? So you apply. Then what you do, you go to that page and you like the page. Because now you know that this is a prospective employer for me. This is a prospective source of employment for me. So you like the page, okay? Once you like the page, at least once in a while, go to that page, put some comments. Thank you, wonderful, interesting. Oh, that might have been exciting. Yeah, I'm again talking about stuff that I've done, yeah, extensively, and that I continue doing, because it's not easy to find a great position in today's market. So what you do is you engage with the page. Yeah, you engage with the page, then you go to the tab called People, and you connect with the people. So if you know that, I don't know, the big names in your domain, what you need to do is constantly put the alert, go there, apply wherever it applies, but make sure that the CV matches the job description, follow the page, and go and connect with people. So make this a habit. Guys, the dopamine rush that you get when you get an acceptance, oh, this particular person is the HR manager of this company and the person is accepted. But what they'll do is they'll look at your LinkedIn profile, right? When you get an request, if it's a blank profile and no photograph and no banner and no about page, and Amaan will deal with all that, and no posts, then they won't accept it. So that's the reason you need to do strategy 1, which is about positioning yourself as a thought leader. Okay. So this is the reactive job search bit. Number 1, set multiple job alerts. Number 2, apply even if the job is imperfect. Number 3, customize your CV. Number 4, follow the organization. Number 5, engage with the posts. And number 6, connect with the people. What I'm going to show you next might look a little creepy. Okay. But guys, voila, you won't believe me. After losing my job in 2000 during COVID, it took me 7 months, 6.5 months to be placed, particularly because it was COVID time. But in between, I had 4 job interviews, one from a company called Edge, one from Cleveland Clinic, and 2 other companies. I did not get these interviews based on sending the CV. I got it because I had someone like a Trojan horse. I had someone within the company to look at my CV and forward it to HR, within the company to speak on my behalf, within the company to put on a good word. How do you do that? Let me ask you a question again. Almost on a weekly basis, you get people calling you and say, Sangeeth Sahib, I need a job. So I asked them, give me the names of 5 companies that you're targeting. And I don't get an answer. Any company will do. Can you imagine, you're sitting in an airplane and the pilot says, good morning, I'm Captain so-and-so. We're going somewhere, or you're going for a holiday and then the guy says, where are you going? Anywhere. That doesn't work, right? You need to first have a target list. Again, this is my target list. Currently, I'm working in a very senior role in the government, but I'm eyeing these companies. So this is your strategy 2. I'm calling it your proactive strategy. I would love to be placed in Dubai Islamic Bank. I would love to be placed in Adib, Aster DM Healthcare, and Emirates NBD. These are my dream job prospects. Number 1, what do? I click on their pages and I follow the page. I follow the page once in a while, at least once a week. I go into the page and I engage with the page. This looks creepy, yeah? Some of you might stop trusting me after this, but this is the only way to get things done, yeah? Then comes something which is a little more creepier, okay? I create a target list. Guys, it's very interesting. So it's like putting a mission to say that in the next 1 month, I'll connect with the key stakeholders of 10 companies. It's as if you're racing against yourself. It's amazing. So Ms. Rafia is the head of HR of Dubai Islamic Bank. And I want Ms. Rafia to know me. I want Ms. Rafia to connect with me. Okay. Ms. Noora is the head of First Abu Dhabi Bank. Okay. Look, these are real screenshots. Yeah. So I'm in touch with Rafia. Rafia is responding. Why is Rafia responding? Because I make sure that I go to, and the good thing about LinkedIn is you can comment on people you have not connected with as well. Yeah. So I go to Rafia, I connect with, I comment on her post, I put some nice links on her post, and then I send her a connection request. Sometimes it takes weeks, sometimes it takes months. And when they go to my page, they see that, oh, Ibrahim is a thought leader. Yeah, because I'm posting regularly. Mohammed Jubail, Farah Siddiqui is from Aster. These are all stakeholders of companies I'm interested to work in, decision makers. These are final decision makers. Okay. Now look at this post, Subhanallah. Let me tell you the story. Finally, I got placed at First Abu Dhabi Bank after 6 to 7 months. And see where it happened? It happened through LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, you can see Noora in the comments saying, please share your CV. Not through a placement agent, not through forwarding someone's CV, but by cultivating that relationship before I lost my job. Knowing that these are Trojan horses that you can depend on, okay, to get your job. That's why on my LinkedIn profile, next to Fab, it says, LinkedIn helped me to get this job. So, simple example, Amira Sijwani, the head of Demac Properties, I wanted to connect with her. I've tried everything. I've gone to her posts. I've engaged with the post. But when I click on connect, it gives me a message saying that please enter her email address, right? Because some people put that filter there because they don't want everybody to apply. So what do? I go to this website called Rocket Reach, which helps you to sort of fish people's email addresses. Go to Amira Sijwani and you get her email address and you can connect with her. Okay, so Rocket Reach is, again, if LinkedIn is stopping you because you don't have an email address, this could be used. Simple example, guys. If you're active on LinkedIn, I checked Barack Obama and we had 6 mutual connections. Any world leader that you check, that's the power of this tool, right? So if you want to connect, you can ask one of your connections to introduce you. So this is the whole beauty. So let me give you a real example, okay? If you're not convinced. I went to ChatGPT and I asked, I work as the head of L&D and I've got 15 years of experience. I'm interested in joining a bank or a multinational company in Jeddah. Give me the name of 5 suitable organizations. I also want you to search and identify the heads of HRs or someone senior in HR, and then go to their LinkedIn profiles and give me a short bio of their interests. Give me links to their LinkedIn pages as well. See what I got here. I don't know the name of these banks. Probably you people in Jeddah will know. Bank Al Jazeera in Jeddah. A senior HR leader is Faisal Al Manzoor. And what is he interested in? Based on the entire what he has been posting. Human capital strategy, keda keda. The next one is Saudi National Bank, major presence in Jeddah. The senior HR leader is Hassan Faisal Hamad. His LinkedIn profile is also given. Okay. My next comment would be, next prompt would be, give me a personalized message to connect with Faisal Mansoor on LinkedIn. And then what am I doing? I'm clicking on Faisal's link and I'm posting messages. Very interesting. On his post, whether I read it or not. I'm engaging with his content, and then I'm sending a very personalized message to him, not just any note. Yeah. It says, I'm so and so. I really like your work in Al Jazeera regarding this and regarding that, and can we connect? So every week, try to connect at least, 8 to 10 valuable contacts. So from a proactive job search bid, make a list of 10 organizations that you want to work in. Make it a mission to connect with heads of HRs, heads of businesses, share contents with them, and at least 10 engagements per week. Guys, we don't have any excuse now, okay? This is just the last slide. I've just put an overall summary of what 36 minutes. Yeah, I was given 40 minutes, so 36 minutes. I want to end with something before passing on to Amaan. So the final message is never stop job hunting. Never. Forwarding CVs and placement agents might not be your best friends. So your first option is keep working on LinkedIn. Now you have a goal. 1 month from now on, if you enter your role/industry, Google should come up with your name first. Work on LinkedIn. I don't know. You go to ChatGPT. It'll give you the content, it'll give you the format. Keep putting 2 posts a day and it'll work. Think of 10 companies that you want to work in. Okay. Search and find HR leaders or business leaders from them. Go to their profiles, put comments, send them connection requests. Put up relevant job alerts. And on the job alert, whenever you find the job sort of matches, customize your CV again using AI and share it. Even otherwise, follow the pages, go to the pages, engage with them, and connect with the people. I want to tell you something, because my personal experience is if you work hard and my dad, he passed away, Professor Ibrahim Gutti was the principal of Brennan College, was a very respected teacher. He has told me, my son, if you want to succeed in life, number 1, pray hard. Number 2, work hard than anyone else. And number 3, treat everyone with respect. So this was his advice to me. Same advice that I keep giving Amaan as well. So I honestly believe that if you do your bit, God does the rest. Yeah. So I'll tell you a real story. 4 or 5 months during my job hunt, and it was a very tough time for me during COVID. Someone in the family was having a health issue. I get a call from Noura. You remember I showed the screenshot? Noura Al-Raisi, the head of HR. She told me, Ibrahim, share your CV. So I was called for an interview. I went there. She interviewed me and said, Ibrahim, this is for the job of an assistant vice president. You've been a VP for 6 months, right? You've been a VP for 6 years in Sharjah Islamic Bank. This is a downgrade for you. And I'm desperate to get a job. So you know what I'm saying? Noura, no problem. This is a big organization because Fab is the Middle East number one bank in the Middle East. So I was saying, it's okay. I'll grow. I don't really care about titles. So she said, no, Ibrahim, don't do drama. You'll join and then you'll keep looking for other jobs. Okay. And she refused me, saying that I was overqualified. Well, I remember, I don't know if you know Dubai and Abu Dhabi, on the way back from Abu Dhabi, just when you cross Dubai border, there's a filling station. I think ADNOC, I stopped there and I was crying. I was literally crying and I was abusing the lady. I was abusing God, saying, what is your problem? I'm ready to work. 2 or 3 weeks later, I called the recruitment manager again, and he said, no, Ibrahim, Dr. Ibrahim, that post has been given to someone internally. So I said, khalas, go on. I continued searching. I think it was about 3 weeks later, I get a call from this lady herself saying, are you available? I said, yes, come quickly. And it is for the job of VP, okay? Because apparently the lady who was there got into some trouble and she resigned. And I joined the job. And can you believe this internal person, the AVP, was then reporting to me. That particular job, which was denied to me, was reporting to me. So God's ways are always amazing. You just need to make use of the tools that are available. Not some of the other things that helped me during that process is we created so anyone in this room who's desperately looking for jobs, I'm speaking as an older brother. Okay, we had around 3 of us initially who were looking for jobs. We created a WhatsApp group. That group grew into 21. And all 21 got placed. It took time. Some of them 6 months, some of them 9 months, but all of them were placed because we did the right things. And we used to meet every week just to pat each other on the shoulder. How are you feeling? Are you okay? Some of them used to cry. Some of them used to share tips. This rocket reach, I learned it from that group. And then we decided that whatever we learn, let us also train other people. So personally, I might have conducted more than 150 job support sessions. This might be the 151, 51 one probably. Yeah. Uh, uh, Sometimes it's interesting. I used to open the session saying, you know what, I'm a job seeker myself. I was fired. I didn't have a job. Currently, I'm heading the academy of a government in the country. So all you need to do is do what is required and pray hard and leave the rest to God. Brothers and sisters, again, a huge thanks to CIGI Women's Collective. It's always a pleasure. Such an inspiring team who does loads of service. So it's a pleasure to be associated. Taqabbalallah. And thank you for the opportunity. And I think the MC will pass the mic to Amaan. Please don't forget the feedback bit. Yeah, I need to score better than him. Sister Aisha, back to you. Thank you.
Great,
Thank you, sir.
amazing, Doctor.
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful, insightful session. Sir, the way you explain LinkedIn features will be valuable for everyone, whether they're actively job hunting or planning their career growth. It was pleasure listening to you, Dr. Sangeeth Ibrahim. Your passion for supporting and uplifting others was clearly reflected throughout the session. Once again, thank you so much. Before we move ahead, let's pause for a quick photo session. I request everyone to kindly turn on your cameras and give us your best smile. Let's make a memorable cake.
Everyone ready?
Yes.
Okay. Yes,
Give your best
yes,
smile.
yes, continuing. We have 14 pages. Yes, thank you all. It's done.
Thank you all for those lovely smiles. Our next session of today's webinar will be conducted by young, dynamic speaker, Mr. Amaan Iqbal Ibrahim. Amaan Iqbal Ibrahim is a behavioral researcher and award-winning speaker working at the intersection of psychology, mental health, and performance. A 7-time TEDx speaker, he translates behavioral science into practical, observable behaviors. He is the first Asian recipient of International Diana Legacy Award for Social Work and the first non-Arab recipient of the Sharjah Award for Voluntary Work. Trained in clinical and applied psychology, Amaan is currently pursuing an MSc in clinical psychology at the University of Birmingham, Dubai. Let me now invite a young, vibrant speaker, Mr. Amaan Iqbal, to take over the session. Dear audience, please join me in welcoming Mr. Amaan. Over to you, Mr. Amaan.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes,
Yes,
you're
thank
audible.
you.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Before I go ahead into that, just a quick thing. It is a very full circle moment for me. As Mr. Mohammed Kunia had said, dad, mom, they'd been involved with CIGI since about 2003, 2004. And I have some of my oldest memories out of me showing up, sitting in the side during the YLP sessions and the PRP sessions and all of these things during CIGI sessions, running between the legs of uncles and aunties and stuff. And I'm greatly honored and really excited for the opportunity to bring this as a full circle moment for myself. So thank you, CIGI, for this opportunity. And yeah, with your permission, I would just share my screen as well so that I can lean on my slides. 1 second. Okay. Can you see the slides?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
So this part of the session is titled From Standard to Standout. This is using the experience that I've gained, using the experiences of industry experts that I've been able to glean over the past few years, and what I think I can help with regards to making sure your LinkedIn profile stands out. Right. So, a quick introduction about myself. My name is Amaan. I'm currently doing my master's in clinical psychology from the University of Birmingham, Dubai. I did my bachelor's in psychology there as well, where I graduated as the valedictory speaker as well. I've done internships, alhamdulillah, by the grace of Almighty, at leading clinics like Sage, Nirmo, Nafsology, Kamali Clinic, and I'm the manager for well-being and academic research at Ascend Wellbeing. I was the Dubai lead for the Halt Prize for stand up startups. Sorry, and I've worked at Meteor Hospital. I was one of the lead interns for Snapchat. I was a podcast host for Lincoln University of Business Management, an educational instructor at the Edge Learning Center and Atlantic IB. Currently, I work as the head of partnerships and project management at Mentra Mental Health and the lead intern at Psych Reality. And I was serving as the national director for organizational development and expansions at ISEC UAE. Now, yes, I am extremely narcissistic. That's why I've brought this up. But beyond that, um, this comes into play a bit later in the session. About 80 to 85% of these roles that I've just told you about, I've gotten completely through LinkedIn. And over the next few slides, over the next 30 to 40 minutes that I have with you, I want to impart how I was able to come about doing that. Now, these are the two main things that are always brought up whenever we think about LinkedIn. And when I have delivered workshops at universities and schools for LinkedIn profile building, LinkedIn and CV building and stuff like that, these are the two main things that get brought up a lot. Number one, I need to post frequently on LinkedIn to be visible. But if I post frequently, won't people think I'm not working? The students in the call, I'm pretty sure you can empathize with me. Anytime I take part in a lot of extracurricular activities and I take it home and I show my dad and mom, they're happy, they're ecstatic. And then comes that comment, "Mone, idu matra ano, padikkunnille?" Which translated is, "Oh, is this all you're doing? Aren't you studying as well?" So that can translate well into LinkedIn as well. So a lot of people think if I post frequently, do people think I'm just sitting and posting on LinkedIn and I'm not doing any work? The next policy is I need to talk about my achievements on LinkedIn. But if I keep talking about my achievements, won't they see me as arrogant? Right? So that's another predominant fallacy that exists where people say that, I need to be humble on LinkedIn. I need to make sure that, even if I'm bragging, it should be a humble brag. Brothers and sisters, uncles and aunts, LinkedIn is the one place where it's advisable to brag. Of course, humble brag, but brag. They need to know everything, right? They would much rather hire someone who knows their worth and hire someone who they know about rather than someone who, like my dad had said in a few slides prior, no banner, no profile picture, no posts, no comments, stuff like that. Now, quick little activity. I will leave this for the comments, so you can just put it in the chat. Fact or myth? LinkedIn is only useful for job seekers. You can just type it in the chat. I'm not able to access the chat because I'm sharing this on the screen. I will assume that some of you are saying fact, some of you are saying myth. This goes back also to the person who had asked a very valid question. What about option number 3 for people who are leading businesses and stuff like that? Well, this statement that LinkedIn is only useful for job seekers, it's a complete myth, right? LinkedIn is useful for anyone or anything who's working, employing, or anything in between, right? So for option number 3, for people who run their own firms, for people who are entrepreneurs, businessmen, trailblazers, LinkedIn is where you find your employees. And for those who are seeking jobs, LinkedIn is where you go to create a digital presence which supports your CV and then helps you in your job search. Number 2, premium LinkedIn subscriptions are the only way to effectively network and job search on the platform. I don't think I need to wait for the chat to tell me whether it's a fact or myth with this one. I promise you it's a myth. Paying 170 dirhams per month for a LinkedIn premium subscription that just puts a gold badge next to you and helps with SEO and stuff like that. I guarantee you it is a waste of money. You do not need to do it. Sometimes you'll even see students, I've seen students in my university with blank profiles, no profile picture, no banner, no about section, nothing. And yet they've paid for LinkedIn Premium. And I just sit and wonder, 170 dirhams, that's 4 movies that you could go and watch. So yeah, premium LinkedIn subscriptions are not the way. The next one, personalizing connection requests on LinkedIn increases the likelihood of acceptance. Absolute fact, right? Like that had shown again in the previous slides, making sure that they know you and making sure at the same time that you're not just messaging them just because you want a job, but because you've done your research on them, you know who they are, and that you're making that connection request for an explicit reason. I'm making this connection request because I feel we are in the same sphere. In the Venn diagram of life, we intersect on a lot of points, and this connection would be beneficial mutually. And then, okay, so those are the facts or myths. Now we go into everything that you need in your LinkedIn profile, right? This is not gonna be a lecture, I promise you. I'm going to just touch upon a few of these elements, what I believe are the most essential, the most important ones, right? A quick activity again. This I would advise that you can unmute yourself because I feel quite lonely here. You can unmute yourself. The next few slides are profile pictures that I've actually taken screenshots from LinkedIn off. Just shout out a number from a scale of 1 to 10 as to what you would score this profile picture, right? 1 is very bad, not suitable for LinkedIn, and 10 is ideal for LinkedIn, all right? Number 1, unmute, say what score you'd give.
5.
5, okay.
5.
5, 3, okay.
10.
10, okay. All right. So we've gotten the entire spectrum. I think I heard a 0 at the very start as well. So this is a very hit or miss one, where initially you would think, okay, it's a very professional standout thing. But at the same time, there's a point which I'll be bringing up later on, which will explain why even I would rate this only a 5 or a 6 out of 10. Number 2.
1.
0.
1, 0,
0.
2.
0.
Absolutely. You're bang on the money for this. I would rate this a 0. Whose profile is this? Is it the lady on the left? Is it the guy in the middle? Is it the guy on the right? Or is it the person whose hand is there in the middle of the picture? We can never know. All right. And again, it's a very casual, very Mark Zuckerberg-esque photo. Not everyone is Mark Zuckerberg. And even Mark Zuckerberg's profile picture on LinkedIn is pretty straightforward. Number 3.
0.
0.
Absolutely 0. This, without exaggeration, this is, I'm pretty sure I'm going to catch a lot of flack. I didn't check the attendees list. This is actually my friend's LinkedIn profile picture. I think he's in the call, in which case tomorrow when I meet him at uni, I'm going to get an earful. But I'm sorry, brother, I love you, but I've told you about this. Your LinkedIn profile picture needs to change, right? And then finally, I mean, this lady needs no introduction, Oprah Winfrey. What would you score it?
9.
8.
Maybe 8, 9. All right. Ideal. 7. Perfect. Thank you so much. Let's move into what exactly I mean when we were grading these profile pictures. So when it comes to do's, use a recent photo, of course, not your Emirates ID picture, not your driving license picture, which was taken 10, 12 years ago. My Emirates ID and my driving license is a picture of me when I was 14. And it's me when I used to grow a goatee and no beard. It's not a phase that I'm really proud of. But again, I have to wait until the next renewal for me to change that picture. So don't let that be the case. Make yourself look personable. A smile goes a long way. Don't be too standoffish, not hands in your pockets and stuff like that. Keep it simple from a composition standpoint. Not too many colors, not too many things. And then the final, most important one, in my opinion, feel free to include some kind of reference to your career. So my profile picture on LinkedIn, for a long time, it was a screenshot from one of my TEDx talks, where it shows that I'm on a stage, I'm speaking, and that's what I'm known for. So that's what I wanted my profile picture to convey. At the same time, that's why I said that I would rate the very first picture of the lady with her arms folded. I would rate that about a 4 or 5, because yes, it's an amazing composition wise, it's an amazing picture. But at the same time, I don't know what she does. I'll have to go down, scroll through her entire profile to understand exactly what sector she's trying to work in. Don't make it a party photo. Don't upload a photo with someone else cropped out. Don't have a photo that looks like it belongs on an online dating profile. And don't include children, spouses, or pets. I mean, pretty self-explanatory. So then it comes down to the profile banner and the organizational duo. So this is a screenshot from my LinkedIn profile. The profile banner is what's behind my profile picture, where it says Amaan Iqbal Ibrahim and a few logos there. And the organizational duo are the two companies that are mentioned on the right side. It's changed now. This was a screenshot I took a few weeks ago before I updated my profile. The banner, you'll see, it includes the logos of companies I'm affiliated with. It includes badges of certifications that I have. And there's a curious little thing instead of the A at the very start of my name, which I'll get to later, right? And the organizational duo, now a lot of people just leave that as default, where LinkedIn chooses the last two jobs that you've done, or it chooses your place of education and the latest position of employment, and it puts those two on the side of your profile. What LinkedIn doesn't tell you is that that little pen icon right on top of that, you can click on that and you can change what gets shown. So let's say you once did an internship at a great organization. Let's say you did an internship at the UN or an internship with Google, but that was in the past, right? But you're still affiliated with Google. So when you put it up on default, it's not going to show Google. It's going to show what you're working at right now. So when you click on edit, you can choose the Google section to show up on this organizational duo. That's what grabs the attention of the people. That's what grabs their eye, right? Your headline, which I'll go back to, you'll see my headline, 6-time TEDx speaker, award-winning mental health advocate, UAE's rising leader in psychology and education. That is what is the first impression they have about you after your profile picture, right? So your headlines always use keywords that it's spoken about SEO, optimizing things to make sure you show up at the top. State your value proposition, right? What are you known for? Why is it that you should be considered as a viable candidate? Be specific. Talk about your experience. Don't use the default headline. Don't use, when you scroll on family WhatsApp groups, you'll see 10 out of the 15 people in your group, their bio is, hey there, I'm using WhatsApp. Don't do that. Don't use it the default headline. Don't be cheesy, don't be desperate, and don't talk about your dreams. That's for the bio section. I realize that sounded very morbid. Don't talk about your dreams, but no, leave that for the bio section, which I'll be getting to. Okay, the connection, I think I'll leave this for the end. This was an activity I had in mind where you have 15 seconds to tell me by unmuting your mic, hey, this is as if you're sending me a connection request. What would be the note you send with it? I think if we have time at the end, we shall get back to that. We go into account verification. So if I go back to my profile, you'll see that next to my name, Amaan Iqbal Ibrahim, there's a little shield with a check mark in it. That's an account verification. Instagram has it for celebrities and stuff like that. LinkedIn has it for 2 reasons. One, right, it makes sure that you are you. This is a very important element. And as much as it sounds like a joke, for me, I had gone to India during summer break of 2023 during my bachelor's. So I wasn't that active on LinkedIn. I come back and I wanted to post, oh, I'm looking forward to starting the next semester, stuff like that. I log in and my LinkedIn profile, the name is different. The picture is of an Asian lady. The banner has been removed and 6 months worth of posts have been deleted. my account got taken over, my account was hacked, and I'd lost all details. I had to contact LinkedIn, get access to it, and all that stuff. Account verification prevents that, where anytime you log in, you can either add specific devices to the security settings, or you need to go through a whole passport setting where either you have to scan your Emirates ID or you scan your passport, they verify it, you take a selfie, they ask you to move your head, and they verify your account. Now, there's a few ways in which you can verify your account. One, educational institution. If you're a university student or if you're going to school which has a school-based student email address, you add that as one of your secondary email addresses in your LinkedIn profile. You can use that to verify your account, right? So that shield will show up, showing that, okay, you're a verified member of this school, this university, this company, so we know it's you. Then comes the identity verification, where you can go through with your passport. So most countries right now, if you've renewed your passport in the last 3 to 4 years, you have the passport which has an NFC chip in it, which you can use to verify. All you need to do, open LinkedIn on your phone, you go to the verification setting and you tap your passport to the back of your phone, and immediately your verification is done. It's as simple as that. It takes 5 minutes and you're done with that. You never have to worry about it again. The about section, where I told you you need to put your dreams, right? I would say it's not so much an essay as much as it is a personal statement, right? Your about section should not go beyond, I would say, 400 to 500 words. Keep it shorter, even if you'd like. You should create a hook in the first 300 words or so, where you're trying to tell them exactly why they should keep scrolling and look at the rest of your profile, right? It should read like a narrative, no bullet points, right? Answer a few questions. Who are you? Why they should care? What you want to do? And how this connection will be mutually beneficial. Have that in your bio section. You answer these 4 questions, it should be pretty solid. Right? Use optimized search terms again so that it comes up. All of these strategies are to make sure that you don't have to pay 170 dirhams to get a LinkedIn premium account. These circumvent that and make sure that you still show up on top, which I'll talk about later. And again, like I said, close with a call to action. Tell them why or how this connection will be mutually beneficial for both parties. The link in header. I will go back to my profile once again. You'll see under Dubai, United Arab Emirates and contact info, there's a link that says book a meeting with me. If you click on that, it takes you to a Google Meet booking link where you can book a specific slot, 15, 30 minutes for anything. You want to just sit and vent, perfectly fine. You want to talk about what's going on, perfectly fine. You want to talk about how we can, collaborate on a specific project, also perfectly fine, right? You can use that link in header for a meeting booking page. You can have your portfolio, computer science, coding students, AI students. You can use that link to put your GitHub repository, show them your projects. You can put your YouTube channel. You can put your link tree as well. Okay, below that comes the featured section. That's where you put your articles, your blog posts, projects and case studies. If you've been covered in any media sites, you put that up there. Certifications, awards that you've received, and any visual portfolios that you have, right? So the featured is basically, okay, we don't want you to go through my entire profile. Here's what you can do instead. Here are the top 5 things that I feel are the most important things that you should look at before you accept my connection request.
Amaan, sorry to interrupt you, but probably you're not able to see the comments. There are comments requesting you to show your bio and your the particular the elements that you're showing to show them your page. So
Sure.
I mean,
all right. Okay. Since I'm on my tab right now, all right. How about at the end, I will make sure that I screen share the browser and I scroll through my LinkedIn profile as well. Would that suffice? Thumbs up?
it should be fine. Should be fine. Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. I realize it's a lot of content heavy stuff, but I'm trying to get through the technical elements of LinkedIn, how to essentially hack LinkedIn to make sure your profile shows up on top. Now, this is the section where most people spend the most amount of time, and rightfully so. Your experience section is where you put in every job you've held, every position, or what that role entailed and stuff like that, right? And one pretty cool thing, which a lot of people don't know about, is when you put your experiences up, when you load each job up on your LinkedIn profile, it shows up in a chronological order, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. Again, if you go back to when I spoke about the organizational duo, the 2 companies that you want mentioned at the top, experience section works similarly. You can decide what order you want each thing to show up in. So you put the most impressive job positions that you've held at the top, and then whatever at the bottom. Right? It goes similarly to how, on your CV they say don't mention your year of graduation because that inputs a bias. Similarly, you make sure that you put the most impressive jobs you've held right at the top. That makes sure that when the person is quickly scrolling through, they see the most impressive ones right at the top. Add relevant keywords when you're adding the description to your bio and to your experience section. Under each job posting, there's a section where you can add what your responsibilities were, what your KPIs were, what you experienced, what you achieved in that role, stuff like that. There's a pretty nifty tool. It's a Google Chrome extension. So you just go to Google and search for Career Flow AI, and you download the web browser extension. It will pop up anytime you open LinkedIn on the side. You click on that and it will go through your LinkedIn profile and recommend updates. And that works for your experience section, that works for your bio, that works for your posts, all of these things, right? So that's about the experience section. And of course, talk in numbers, this much percentage increase, this many people, this many things, this date to this date, all of these things, be quantitative. Because if I say, oh, I did a great job at this, that's one thing. All right, okay, cool. So did a lot of people. I showed a 450% hike in so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. That's what grabs attention better, right? So let's move into the education section, all right? Of course, there's a few students from schools in the call. There's a few students from university. Keep your education section from university. You see a lot of students who put their school. I would suggest against it, because there is, an inherent bias where they see, oh, you mentioned your school on the call, on the LinkedIn profile. So, okay, you're still very fresh off the boat. So companies would not be as ready to bring you on board, right? So remove your school, keep your education from your university level, enter extracurricular activities, relevant extracurricular activities, because again, similar to how in your experience section, under the job, they ask for responsibilities. Under the university, they ask for your activities in societies, right? What did you take part in? Any leadership positions, any awards, stuff like that? You put that in the description there. Going to license and certifications, again, pretty self-explanatory. It's another section below your experience and education where you can add any certifications that you've done. A few pretty easy to do certifications for free online. BLS, Basic Life Saving Certification, right? It teaches you how to do CPR, teaches you how to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and stuff like that. Most jobs, as part of the safeguarding team and the safeguarding strategy, they take you through certifications and trainings like that, right? The company pays for things like that. Instead of they see, oh, you've already done that. Well, that's amazing, right? You're certified to be a good Samaritan and save a life at that moment. You're certified in doing CPR. Mental health first aid, another amazing one, which a lot of companies are investing in. It's done in Dubai. It's done by the Lighthouse Arabia, but it's originally an Australian certification board. They offer online courses as well. And then, of course, there's Coursera, edX, LinkedIn Learning, and the like. Skills and endorsements. So anytime you put up a job in your experience section, you have the option where at the very bottom, after you've mentioned what you did in your job, they ask, what skills did you use in your job? And it shows up as keywords. So you can type 10, 20, 30 of them, right? Ideally stick to 5. So you can put public speaking, marketing, team leadership, stuff like that. And where this comes into play is when your friends or your connections on LinkedIn see this, they can go and click on endorse. And when they click on endorse, this shows up on their LinkedIn profile, on your LinkedIn profile. It shows, okay, blogging. 19 of Naomi's colleagues said that, yes, she's amazing at blogging, right? 10 of Naomi's colleagues said she's amazing at marketing. 13 of Naomi's colleagues endorsed her public speaking skills, right? So this also adds a level of credibility to your LinkedIn profile. Recommendations is an amazing way for you to gain further credibility on LinkedIn, right? It's a pretty simple thing. You don't need to ask them to send you a reference letter. You don't need to ask them to put it on the company letterhead or anything like that. LinkedIn has an inbuilt system. You go to references or recommendations, you click on the plus icon. It asks you, who do you want to send this request to, right? So you type out the name, make sure they're a connection of yours, and then you click on send. So LinkedIn will send this person a form or just a quick link where they can type out a short recommendation for you. And when they click on post, it shows up on your profile. Make sure when you're sending it to people, yeah, sure, send it to your friends, whoever, but be careful if you're sending it to your friends. And if they do post it, keep an eye on what they've said in the recommendations, speaking from experience. Yeah. But yes, try to make sure the recommendations are pertinent to your field, pertinent to what you're applying for, pertinent to your job search journey as well. Again, awards and honors, pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Announcements, yeah. So one, it's almost become a meme at this point on LinkedIn, where anytime you open LinkedIn, you'll see someone saying, "I'm thrilled to announce, I'm proud to announce so and so, I'm a this, that." LinkedIn has a few, tailor-made systems, ready-made syntaxes for announcements. It always starts with, "I'm happy to announce, I'm proud to announce, I'm thrilled to announce." Delete that, please. Do yourself a favor, do everyone a favor. Delete that syntax, type it out on your own, or use ChatGPT. I have a few gifts for you to help you with exactly that later on in the session. So there's a way in which you can do it, right? When you're making an announcement, always spotlight the moment, talk about what it is, how it came to be, why you feel it's amazing, right? Do it in that circle. What it is, how it came to be, why it's important. Once you do that, it answers the questions the readers have psychologically from the very start. What's he talking about? Okay, oh, wow, how did he do it? Okay, but why should I really care about it? You've answered those three by the time they get to the end of the post, right? Always tag collaborators, add them all, talk about what's happening next. Tell them if you're open for opportunities, tell them about any exciting launches, make it interactive. End it saying that, "Oh, let me know what you think in the comments," or you can add a survey or a poll. How many of you believe this? How many of you believe that? Stuff like that. All right. Then moving in, yeah, that feeds into content sharing and scheduling. So when it comes to content sharing, so currently you'll notice if you go to my LinkedIn profile, I haven't posted in a few months, right? That comes into another amazing thing about LinkedIn. When you have a profile on LinkedIn, you can experiment a lot. So I know it'll sound like I'm just trying to cover my back, but I'm guaranteeing you there's a lot of things I need to post about, alhamdulillah, but I haven't, because I'm trying to see how analytics change based on the amount of time between individual posts. And that's another post that's coming up as well. Hacking your LinkedIn analytics page, right? So anytime you make a post, create with purpose, you time your impact. Again, using LinkedIn analytics, it'll show you what time of day is best for you to post, because that will give you the most amount of likes and reshares and reposts and stuff like that. Balance original and curated content. So what's curated content? Original content is your announcements, your specific posts, right? This is what I did, this is what we did, stuff like that. Curated content is, here's a blog I read, here's an article I read, here's a YouTube video I feel is very pertinent, here's something that's happening in the world that's amazing. That's curated content. Don't be completely one or the other. Find a good balance. For individuals in different fields, it varies. For me, I'm working to be a clinical psychologist, inshallah, over the next 3 years' time. So for me, making sure that it's more on the curated side matters a lot, where I'm only sharing empirically sound, verified sources, and then adding my original take on these things, right? And always, like I said again, share using the rule of thirds. What happened, how it's going on, what the public opinion is, and what you think, or why your opinion matters. So that's the rule of thirds. Okay, now this comes to my story specifically. So I started my bachelor's in psychology in 2022 in September. And luckily, I had done a lot of content writing in the past. I'd done a lot of blog posts. I had my own personal blog at the time. And through LinkedIn, I reached out to a company and I got a job as a content writer. My first big boy job, right? Where I was paid and everything. I was really happy. It wasn't much, but as a first job for me, it meant a lot, right? And that job went on for a year. It was going very well, where out of nowhere, I got an email saying that, "Oh, okay, since the company, it was a startup, and since the startup is starting to run out of funds, we're going to be shutting down departments, including content writing. So unfortunately, your position's been made redundant. We'll pay you for the end of the month, and then best of luck. We'll give you a recommendation letter, yada yada yada." And I remember exactly where I was. I was driving with my sister. We were driving back home from the mall, and I stopped at the side of the road when I got that email because it popped up saying position redundant. And yeah, I just, I was so stuck. It was the first time I'm losing a job, right? And this happened in August of 2023. University reopens end of September 2023. And I wanted to make sure there's no way I go back into uni without a job. So over the next month, every day, I applied to about 70 to 80 jobs. You do that math, it comes up as a pretty large number, right? 70 to 80 jobs across 30 days. From that many jobs that I applied to, I got 50 or so emails in response. Of these 50 or so emails, I got 3 interviews, of which I got shortlisted for 2 positions, in which I got 1 job. So 30 times 70, about 2,100 applications to 100 emails, or 50 to 100 emails to 5 interviews to 3 shortlistings to 1 final job. As a student who's starting out in the field, it is very, very challenging. I don't want to mince words. I don't want to give false hope. But this is the statistic you need to go to, right? Like that, it said, oh, I shared my CV isn't enough. You need to be able to go through that struggle for you to ensure that you can get the reward, right? So, and a few things, you personalize your cover letter. So Resume AI, all right, RESUMAI has been a godsend for me. I found it on TikTok out of nowhere, where you go in and you copy paste your CV there, and it puts it in the ATS, the applicant tracking system. It puts in the ATS compliant format, changes your keywords, puts buzzwords, make sure it's very important and stuff like that. And then you copy paste your resume, and on LinkedIn, any job posting, they have a job description. You copy that JD and paste it into Resume AI's cover letter generator. You don't need to do anything. Sit back. It uses the information from your resume, uses the information from the job description, and gives you the ideal cover letter. Now, here's a hack that I'll tell you that I figured out using, of course, again, TikTok as well. When you're applying for a job, LinkedIn has a section that says easy apply. Sure, go through that. But at the same time, most of those job postings have an email address at the bottom. hr@admin@soandsocompany.com, right? You go to Gmail, or your email provider, paste that email in there, and then you send them an email, application for so-and-so position. The body of your email is the cover letter you've gotten from Resume AI. Attach your CV, and here's what I did, which helped me get those 3 interviews, right? At the end of the email, I sent them a link to book a meeting with me, the one in my LinkedIn profile. And I sent them that link. And of course, they must have thought, who's this pretentious child who's telling me, oh, you can book a meeting when you want. But it worked, right? It must have impressed them, and it worked, right? So when I said I applied for those jobs, this is what I meant. Email, email, email. If you can't find the email, of course, you can use rocket search. But at the same time, about 9 times out of 10, the company will have an HR@soandso company.com. Right? So if the website is something.com or something.gov or something.co, just copy paste that part, and at the start put HR@ or admin@ or recruitment@. And put all of these. Yeah, you'll get a few emails sent back saying, oh, this email doesn't exist. That's fine. You've still sent it out to 70 to 80 companies, right? And then follow up. And then use the strategies that Dad had spoken about. Now, I realize I'm moving short on time, so I'm going to speed up through the rest. Personal branding, I'm going to tell you again my story. So Quero, Magnum, Fortas. These 3 words you will find across my LinkedIn profile. It's my email signature, and it's all over my profile. These are the last words of a French poet. His name was Francois Rabelais, and it means I go to seek a great perhaps. This has been my mantra. I've spoken about this at TED Talks. I've spoken about this at workshops, training sessions, and all of that. So Quero Magnum Fortas is essentially what I like to say is my message to the world. Regardless of what you're doing, seek that great perhaps. What's your great perhaps? That's for you to find out. But once you find it, don't leave any stone unturned until you go close to it, or you grasp it, or you achieve that. And that's been my plan. And beyond that, I will advise, so anyone with your phones, if you search this up, UAE is rising leader in psychology, AI, and education. This is what shows up. Even the AI overview says, the rising leader in psychology, AI, and education in the UAE is widely recognized as Amaan Iqbal Ibrahim. And right below that, it's my LinkedIn profile that shows up. Again, I didn't pay for LinkedIn Premium. All I did is find what keywords work, and I put that in my profile bio. If you go back to my profile bio, this sentence is there. No one has called me UAE's rising leader in psychology, AI, and education. But is it wrong? I'm doing my master's, I'm publishing papers, I'm taking part in sessions and stuff. I would be rising, right, as a leader. So it's technically right. But when you Google it, I'm the first person that shows up. And okay, Google is one thing. Most of us use ChatGPT. Fine. Let's go to ChatGPT. Amazing. Let's go. Give it time once you put it in your bio, right? Google's search engine system, it refreshes once or two times a day. Give it up to a week. And then when you search, your profile will show up on top. I guarantee you. If you find a string of terms and keywords that are unique to you, and you think not many people will have used this specific sentence, it's UAE's, not Dubai's, because when I put Dubai's, it still showed somebody else above me. So I said, who's UAE's rising leader? Right? So you find a way to fix that. And that's how you show up at the top of a search without paying a single dirham. All you pay is time. And I mean, you look at it, it's after me is UAE's Minister of State for Artificial Intelligence, His Excellency Omar Sultan Al Ulama, right? So it helps you jump through that without having to pay enough. This is what you had seen at my LinkedIn on my LinkedIn banner, right? This is my name in polygon structure. So you can see AMAAN. This is again in my email signature and everywhere. I tried to make sure that I'm synonymous with this logo. Because my goal is once I move into the work sphere, once I become a clinical psychologist, right, I'm able to use this as my brand, right? So on the emails I send, on the letters I send, any workshops, any certifications I offer, this is what is known as Amaan. So you see this logo and it shows up as Amaan, be it LinkedIn or outside as well. Now, wrapping up, the last few things for you. We love to use AI, and we absolutely should. That brings me to my AI gifts for you. I will share the slides as well. I'm not going to dwell too long on these. This is a prompt you can use when you're trying to create a personalized LinkedIn connection. If you'd like to take a screenshot, go ahead. But regardless, I'm going to be sharing the slides, so you don't need to worry. You just enter the details in the blanks, and it gives you a personalized LinkedIn connection node. Another gift for you. Right? If you need to research a company, like that it said, try to find out what they're about, who they are and stuff when you're sending them a connection request, use this prompt. Another prompt for you on Nano Banana. So this is what I did. Most of us don't want to go to a studio, get a professional picture made. Take your selfie and you copy paste this into Google Gemini's Nano Banana and you say this prompt. You just say what you upload your selfie, you put what industry you're in, and it gives you an amazing profile picture. My LinkedIn profile picture now is from Gemini. And one final gift, a prompt to make prompts, right? If you're struggling with trying to figure out what you want from ChatGPT and getting what you want from ChatGPT, copy paste this prompt. That way, anytime you want it to do something, you just say, I want you to do this. It will give you a huge prompt. You copy paste that into a new chat and it'll give you exactly what you need. And if you still don't want to do even that, then you go to fido.com where this prompt is already ready. You just type in one sentence what you want, and ChatGPT prompts will be sent out to you. You just copy paste it in ChatGPT. With that said, I'm aware of the fact that I've just hit the time. Thank you so much. Right, linktree.ee/Amaan. That's my personal link. Right, you go to that. You can, if you'd like, you can book a meeting. You can go through, my TED Talks. You can leave a few nice comments. Please, nobody's commenting. And yes, so you can interact with me beyond the session as well. And yes, that was my session. I hope it was useful. And with that, I render the rest of the time and back to the amazing MC for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amaan Iqbal, for a truly inspiring session. It's a proud moment to witness a father and son together on one platform. Truly a special moment for you and all of us. Both sections complemented each other perfectly and gave us a complete, meaningful learning experience. Thank you once again, Dr. Sangeeth Ibrahim and Mr. Amaan, for sharing your knowledge and inspiring us all. Now we will proceed to the question and answer session. Participants may post their questions in the chat box or raise their hands. Our organizing team will unmute you accordingly. I would now like to invite Mr. Rafiq Perul to lead the question and answer session.
Yes, thank you, Aisha. Yes, as she mentioned, you can raise your hand or you can write your questions in the chat box, and we have both Dr. Sangeeth and Amaan to answer your questions. You can see you will get a prompt to unmute. Mr. Suhail, you can unmute. Suhail Master.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes,
Suhail,
go
we can
ahead.
hear you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Okay, you were talking about verifying the account by using ID. So when I try this, so they're asking for something, ID with chip. So our passport is not having this kind of chip facility. So how can I get verified? I could not see any other option to verify the account.
Right.
Can you help me on this?
If I may, absolutely. So, as I'd mentioned, the Indian passport specifically, I think it was only after 2020 the passports that were issued came with the chip. Right. So if you look at the Indian passport currently, if you see that there's a slight small at the front, at the cover page, a small rectangle at the bottom with a circle in the middle, that would mean that it's a new passport which has the chip in it. Right. So if not, then you would need to wait until you renew your passport the next time. Or again, if you have a workplace email address, you could try with that, the corporate verification. For that, I think corporate verification, you would need to go through you need to use a computer, but the passport verification, you can do it through the phone. I think it's called persona verification.
Okay, corporate verification means?
So if you have a work email, so from your company, you will have like an email address specific with that company. So if your company is registered on LinkedIn, then when you go to your account in the settings, you can choose to change your email address. And then you can put the company email address you have. So Amaan at so-and-so.com. And then you can go back to verification and try with that. That is if your company is verified on LinkedIn.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
A pleasure.
I think Javed raised their hand, Rafiq.
Yes,
Hi, hello.
hi. I have a question to Mr. Sangeeth. I want to ask about the engagement you were talking about. And the problem is when we comment or do something under a post, this message can be seen by all our followers. The problem here is even our colleagues may be our followers, even our boss may be our follower. So they might see this. So is there any option to restrict on this?
Well, I think the whole objective is to be more visible than the other way around. I'm not sure whether LinkedIn doesn't give you the option to hide particular comments. But I think in the spirit of transparency, right? It's if I see, for example, a team member of mine, it has really happened, yeah. A team member of mine is regularly Adia is another company in Abu Dhabi. It's a sovereign wealth fund, okay, and we sometimes lose people to Adia. So if I see that particular person is commenting actively on the HR head of Adia, I get a little cautious. Yeah, why is this person? Is he actively trying to look for a job? But then, at the end of the day, somebody who is competitive, somebody who has got dreams, somebody who is aspirational, will definitely look for better opportunities. So I think we need to slightly shift from that mindset. Yeah, people with us are looking at the organization is not very loyal towards us. And as long as we are in an organization, we add value to it, right? We work hard. I'm currently sitting in my office. I usually work till 7:38. So you need to definitely earn what is being provided for you. But at the same time, I don't think there's any problem in looking out, networking with people. And it's not always about jobs, right? It's about building a good connection. Maybe you're looking for a mentor, a mentor who can guide you. So I don't think there should be any kind of qualms in exposing to the world that you're reaching out and connecting with people. So instead of hiding, my advice would be to make it more visible.
Anyone else?
Amaan, there is one question to you, addressed to you, Amaan. How you have created the badge?
The banner.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So I use Canva a lot. So canva.com, canva.com. It has a lot of free templates you can use, or you can design your own. You just go to canva.com and you search for LinkedIn banner. So a bunch of prototype designs will show up. You just have to copy paste your picture, put your text on it and stuff like that. So you can do that. Before I do, I think a quick thing had come up in the chat. It was something I wanted to address, but I forgot. Where someone has just asked about the open to work tag. Now, when you put open to work, there's two options. One is you can just keep open to work, and two is you put open to work, and on your profile picture, a banner shows up on the side saying open to work. Now, this is what's being said now from like a lot of recruiting agencies and stuff. Yes, put open to work, but make sure you do not put that option for the banner on your profile picture. That hashtag open to work with the green banner, remove that. People are saying that it's not helpful as much. Making sure that you're already in the open to work list is enough.
Anyone else want to ask question, or is there another question? Thank you. No, it's not a question, it's a comment. Anyone else? Yes, we have Muhammad Shihab. You can unmute. Muhammad Shihab. Shihab, you can unmute. Yeah.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, right. I have one simple question. To get the most trending post, how we can create in LinkedIn?
Well, when you say trending posts, by default, anything with a nice picture, because people have become so Instagramish that even if you write the most cognitive post, the most useful post, personally, what I've seen is number one, if it's accompanied by a good picture, okay, naturally it draws more viewers. Timing the post is extremely important. So Amaan, you can use LinkedIn analytics. I used to make the mistake of posting on Saturdays. Okay, so what I used to do is Saturday is a free day, so I post a video and then probably I get maybe around 300 views. But then if I do it on a Tuesday afternoon or a Wednesday afternoon, I found that the number of views shoot up. But how can I post on a Wednesday afternoon? I'm busy, I don't have time, right? So that's where you can schedule your posts. So a lot of this is trial and error. So putting an image, starting with a question, anything with a number, for example, like 3 ways to future-proof your career. Or do you know that the best way to do something? So you can use ChatGPT as well. So if you have a nice content, let's say you're writing something about, what example can I give you?
Saudi Qatar new railway project, for example.
Saudi, exactly. So you can create a prompt on ChatGPT saying that this is the content that I have. I want this to be a hook. I want this to capture people's attention, and I want to draw people to this post. Rephrase it for me. Yeah. So
right.
More than our logic, the LLM knows more. Then the challenge is about the accompanying picture and sort of timing. But more than anything, it's about being a thought leader. So be consistent. Okay, at least have 2 posts. Engage with other people. The mistake that we make is we use LinkedIn when we lose our job, and by the time it's too late, right? So you need to engage with other people, build a base, reciprocate. When people comment on your post, do thank them. At least put the heart icon and say thank you, because they have spare time, and you need to spare time as well. So you reciprocate. So you need to build your base up. I don't think there's a magic wand to sort of improve. I've tried promoting posts, and on LinkedIn, I found that to be pretty dismal. You can spend money and promote your post, but then the reach is, and you can really choose your target audience. People about 25 in UAE in particular place. But then I found the results have never been very sort of satisfactory. So it's very organic. You need to build up your connection. You need to engage with the content, post regularly, post meaningful content, attach images. So these would be anything that you want to add, Amaan?
No, highly appreciated, Sangeeth. It's a great, even myself, I did that through a desert. A train is moving to Qatar from Dammam. Yeah, I got, within 5 days, I got 18,000 impression.
Whoa. Awesome. Right. So you should be telling us what to do, sir.
Sure. This idea, actually, as someone saying here, take with your competitor. For example, I was working in Unilever. If I write something about P&G, Procter & Gamble, people are hooking. That's great.
True, true, true.
If a competitor, that I mean, yeah.
Next, sorry.
Thank you. Highly appreciate it. It's a good point. Thank you.
Next, we have Hashim. You can ask your question. Yes, Hashim Tamam.
Yes, sir. I'm a bit a senior man. I just got redundant last month, and the reason is my company has a policy of crossing age limit of 60, going to be redundant. So now is the time, very late stage, I'm going to be active in LinkedIn. But the challenging question facing me is that the moment I proclaim my age, the very first preface, it will be rejected because of the age. So do I need to be honest of my age, or can I somehow maneuver about that and don't show the age or the date of birth in the profile? And sure, that is not a best practice, but what do you suggest for a man like me above 60 to be on LinkedIn? What are the chances I stand?
Amaan, would you want to start, particularly the technical aspect of the age, whether it can be blocked or not?
Absolutely. So two things. One, well, firstly, I'm sorry you had to go through the experience. It's of course it's jarring. I mean, when it happened with Dad, also it was everyone in the family. We were thrown into the hay. But when it comes to this specific question, yes, you don't have to put your date of birth on LinkedIn. It's not mandatory. You can skip that section. They will ask you for it when they're trying to create your account, but you can choose to not get that to show up on your profile when you're making your account. So that's one. And number two is when you're similar to the date of graduating from a university, it's the same reason as to why I said don't put your university graduation date. That's on the opposite end of the spectrum. Don't put your date of birth either. Right? So that at least helps you get into the interview. Once you get into the interview, once they see the years of experience that you have, that's at that point you can of course start negotiating with regards to your date and date of birth and stuff like that. For the rest, I'll leave it to Dad.
No, I know it's easy for me to say this, but then I think the economy is changing, right? The mechanics are changing. So someone who's as experienced as you, I'm sure you can add a lot of value to prospective organizations and people as well. So I think it's a question of looking out for such opportunities, and I'm sure such opportunities exist. Simple example, my wife and I, we were always saying it's very tough to find online teaching opportunities. Amaan was able to get 6, 7 teaching opportunities. At some time he was teaching. We stopped our pocket money, because he was earning quite a lot. So it's all a question. The opportunities are out there. So I think opportunities for people like you, sir. So many years of experience are there. It's just a question of targeting your search and finding it. And I wish you all the best in that.
Thank you, Sangeeth.
Can I speak?
Yes, sure.
For the verification purpose, see, if we do not verify ourselves on LinkedIn, our profile may not get outstanding one. So that I try to do that by my passport, but when I select the countries, I couldn't see India there in the list. Only ND stats only comes for Indonesia. India is not coming in the list. And I tried with Emirates ID, that also is not working. So what can I do for the verification now?
So in that case, I think there's only two options remaining. Firstly, I'm not sure why the India isn't showing up, but at the same time, one would be see if the work email route works, and number two is if it doesn't, the verification system, there is a help section where they ask you to fill in a form and submit your personal details, and then the LinkedIn team, once they review it, it'll take a few weeks, but then they can manually verify you as well from LinkedIn directly. So if the email verification also doesn't work, then just contact LinkedIn directly using the help button at the bottom of the screen.
Okay. Is it okay to post the videos that we randomly post on the Instagram, like vlogging, promotional videos on LinkedIn as well, or is it purely for job purpose? How it
So
is?
the way I would suggest it is consider LinkedIn as your online CV, right? Your LinkedIn is your online CV. So anything you don't want on your online CV, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, see, on Instagram, yes, we want to see where you went with your family and stuff like that. But if you're able to convert that into a lesson and a learning point post kind of thing, absolutely, by all means. But other than that, just randomly posting, it's not going to give a good image to the companies as well, because they might see it as you not being serious with regards to your professional side.
My question is like, I'm a licensed blogger in UAE, so that I want to be promoted on Google without SEO, like you said, for free. We can get promoted by Google if we will do the posting on LinkedIn, right? So if I will post the promotional videos on LinkedIn, so that I get promoted on Google as well, and if someone will search as UAE licensed blogger, my name need to come. So what should I do for that?
In that case, sorry, I wasn't aware that that is your brand. So your brand is as the licensed blogger. So in that case, yes, absolutely. Posting your vlogs, your promotional material, it is very important because that's what you are known for. So in that case, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead with posting those on your LinkedIn.
So to get promoted by Google, what should I do? What are the practices that I can do on LinkedIn?
So a couple of things would be, number one would be in your bio, like I'd shown you, put a few keywords. For example, not just UAE licensed vlogger, because if you Google that, maybe 10, 50, 20 of them might
Yeah,
show
many
up.
people will be there like that. Yeah.
Exactly. So UAE licensed vloggers specialized in, and especially what kind of content you make, what fields of content you're in, stuff like that. So make a sentence which you think not a lot of people would have put in their LinkedIn. Right. Once you do that, within a few days or up to a week or so, just Google it again, Google that search term, and it might show up.
Could you say one example, if you don't mind? Like,
sure, by all means. So, let me ask, what's your specialty? Like, what's your content specialty? What fields do you make content in?
like I generally do all kinds of promotional videos. So,
okay,
what can
so in
be
that
meant?
case, a licensed UAE content creator specializing in community in the year of family. You put that as your LinkedIn bio. I don't think anyone would have had a combination of words like that. Give it a week or two and try Googling it.
Like I need to get my name pop up on Google if someone will type UAE blogger, something like that, or
No,
Dubai
exactly.
blogger.
So you
That's
put
what
this
happens. Yeah.
sentence.
Yeah.
You put the sentence that I just said, where licensed UAE vlogger specializing in community content in the year of family 2026. You put that
Okay.
in your LinkedIn bio, in your profile, and then you Google that term, your name will show up.
Okay, I think Mr. Suhail Master, I think in the interest of time, probably we'll move to another question. We have a lot of questions in the chat box also. Amaan and Dr. Sangeeth.
I think one question is addressed to Sangeeth. Is it a good practice interacting on the post of an employee of the direct competitor of your current company, especially when your current company have a compliance in place?
No, see, every company has got certain social media guidelines, yeah, and it definitely does not say that you cannot engage with employees of another company. It's all about being politically right, being sensitive to the cultural kind of aesthetics of the country and the company. So there's absolutely no problem. Technically, nobody can imprison you if you sort of engage with an employee of a competitor. It all depends on the kind of chemistry we have with our employee, with our manager. Yeah, that could be a bit sensitive, but I think now people have gone beyond all that. We're going behind those kind of loyalties. Yeah, very soon we won't see people working for 5 years, 10 years in a particular company. I have aspirations, I have dreams. I can give you an example. I had a colleague, I don't want to mention the name of the company, was not quite happy, was passed over for a promotion, and then put an open to work post. Put an open to even the what do you call it, Amaan? The badge, right?
Banner,
On your
the green
profile
banner.
picture. Yeah, the profile picture came in, and then there was a discussion in the company, and he was offered an alternative position. Yeah, so there are ways to do that. On the other hand, when I lost my job, the next day I changed. I put an open to work, and people in the family said, Sangeeth, you're providing career guidance session. People will know that you don't have a job. I said, yeah, that's okay. Me not having a job is not the end of the world, right? I don't have a job for many reasons, perhaps. Maybe the company can't afford me. Maybe I'm too overqualified for the company. What's the big deal? So people attach a lot of ego things to your job. I don't think you need to do that. You lose your job, you lose your job. Khalas, you'll find another one. Oh my God. So now Nadi is talking about money. Yeah. I don't know. Amaan, would you know this? Can you monetize LinkedIn?
Yeah. So I think Miss Nadi has asked two questions. One, what the reason is for Tuesdays and Wednesdays being popular than a Saturday. That there's actually been studies done on it. I mean, Wednesday is, colloquially considered the hump day or the slump day, where, it's the middle of the work week, and that's when things are getting slow and people just want to wait until the weekend happens and stuff. And what people found as like qualitative studies is that even managers at that point are just browsing on LinkedIn in the middle of the day because they're just tired, they're bored of the work and stuff. I'm not endorsing it, but schedule your post for Tuesday and Wednesday. You might find a lazy manager who will just see your post. And then the monetizing, yes, not that LinkedIn will pay you, but you can monetize your content in a way where you're making brand partnerships with companies and post on LinkedIn, and they will pay you. So you can use LinkedIn similar to how Instagram does. So Instagram wouldn't pay you directly, but the brand partnerships you make on Instagram, they pay you. So you can use it similarly with regards to that. But again, don't spread yourself too thin. Make it specifically one sector so that all your brand as such doesn't diverge.
What are the benefits of going premium? 3 that I know of. I've been premium only for just tested it for a month or so. Number 1, you can send in-mails. So I can send messages to people I'm not connected with. So for example, Mr. Irshad, if currently I'm not connected with him, if I'm not on premium, I have to first connect with him and then send him messages, right? But if I'm on premium, I can send messages directly, but there's a limited number, I think 5 or 10. I get access to LinkedIn Learning and the learning resources on LinkedIn. And third is, there's a tab where I can make myself more visible to recruiters. So if Amaan is having a premium account and I'm not having a premium account, what happens is that Amaan's sort of profile comes up above mine. Yeah, but there is still a way to beat it. If I have a much better profile and if there are more people engaging with me, it can even beat a premium algorithm, black and blue. Yeah. So let's not pay money to do this. Let's work and get that done. Let's earn that honor of being there on the top.
If I may just quickly, there's also slowly started. There's a stigma that's kind of started where LinkedIn premium subscriptions are seen as the lazy way to show up on top, right? So, of course, if your company is paying for it, by all means, go ahead. But most people, if they're paying for it, it's just so that, okay, I just want to show up on top, regardless of the posts I make and stuff. And employers are taking note of that as well. Like I said, I have university classmates who are paying for this. I mean, okay, sure, by all means go for it, but your profile has no profile picture. Your name is in all lowercase letters and stuff like that. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty confident in the fact that the 5 or 10 of us who have proper profiles will be able to show up, even if yours shows up on top. Because again, it boils down to who the person is, not whether they have a badge at the top of the name.
I'm mindful of time, but this is very interesting question from Rustam. Is changing jobs within 2 years considered unprofessional? So Rustam, my take, okay, mine might differ. Gen Z, it's a different generation, but my take, at a senior level, when you're recruited, for example, I was brought in as a senior director. What I was told is, Ibrahim, you get 3 years. You get 3 years to bring results. For someone to join a new organization or a new industry, build rapport, start from scratch, start certain things, stop certain things, continue, it takes a minimum of 3 years to show effect. So even for CEOs, if you look at the average organizational lifespan of CEOs, it's up to 3 years. So anything less than 3 years is not looked upon very favorably by recruiters. It was as if, maybe you made the wrong choice, or maybe you didn't like the organization, or they didn't like you. So anything more than 3 years, 4 years would be a sweet spot. I worked in an organization for 4 years. If I see a CV of someone who's worked for 4 years, I'll say, oh, okay, so the guy stayed there, learned, added value, because at least the first 6 months, you're not doing anything, right? The company is paying you and you're being inducted. So you stayed back and you added value. It shows your credibility. But if you stay for 10 years, then I'll see you as a liability. And I faced that. I worked in Sharjah Islamic Bank for 13 years, and people said, what's happening? Yeah, because then you get so much ingrained into the culture of the organization, and you find it very tough to change. So 4 years would be a sweet spot. That's my take. Sorry, I think we're just being mindful of time.
Hello.
We have Yusuf. Yeah, Yusuf, go ahead.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
No.
Quick question. Can you provide some guidelines as to the contents that should be posted in LinkedIn and what not to be posted? And does LinkedIn have any guidelines for it?
Now with AI, I don't think that's a challenge, right? Number one, anything that is professional can be posted on LinkedIn. So that's why they say don't make LinkedIn like Facebook or Instagram. The only example is if you have a story behind it. Like my daughter, she's the head girl of the school, and there's one day when the principal allows her to sit in his office. So she becomes the principal for a day. So that's a family photo, right? So why am I posting that? But when I post that with a lovely story saying that, this is a great opportunity for young leaders. Then even a Facebookish post is relevant to LinkedIn. I posted my family photo on New Year's Day because in UAE, it's a year of the family. So anything that can be linked to a professional kind of message is something that people like to learn from, people can get inspired from, that's useful. But otherwise, things that don't make sense, you traveled and you're sharing your photographs, your family trip photographs. If you're a photographer and if you're promoting your personal brand, you could use that. But otherwise, don't do this. Yeah.
I see a lot of political posts as well in the LinkedIn.
Yeah, it's suicidal.
Something that
it is really, really suicidal. I really don't know why. It's as if they don't have platforms. There are a lot of platforms to air that, right? Because in an organizational setup, you have to be a political agnostic. Yeah, particularly geopolitical situations. I think we should never post them on LinkedIn.
So unless you are you have a political career ahead of you, right?
Yeah, you're a journalist, perhaps. Yeah, or you're a politician. Yeah.
I think it boils down to one simple maxim. If it's good enough for your CV, it's good enough for LinkedIn. If it's not good enough for your CV, keep it as far away as possible from LinkedIn. So if, like you had said, if you're a politician or on the political spectrum, then yeah, by all means. But other than that, yeah, stay clear away from it.
Sorry, does LinkedIn provide any guideline for it? Any restrictions for the content posting? Do they filter it out or?
I mean, yeah, so there are elements of LinkedIn called shadow banning and stuff like that, where if you're posting content that is relatively on the problematic side, for example, I mean, I've seen LinkedIn posts from doctors where they're posting pictures of surgery. Of course, it's pertinent to their field, but there's a lot of blood, there's open organs and stuff like that, in which case it does get pushed lower on the algorithm. So make it family friendly, make it office friendly, all suitable for work posts. So if you're sharing images, don't let there be any, just general guidelines, no blood, no gore, nothing like that. Make it a professional image. If it is an image that you really need to post, upload it to ChatGPT or Gemini Nano Banana and ask it to make it suitable for work. And then upload the Gemini version of it. Right. So that way you're getting the best of both worlds, I would say.
Okay.
Hi, I have a question. Yeah, hi, Dr. Sangeeth. This is Irshad. And man, thank you so much for giving this wonderful session. The question is like the people having different profiles, should they maintain two LinkedIn account? For example, somebody is, in my case, I do like training. That is actually as a trainer, one profile. The other one is as a divisional manager for a company for completely technical. Entirely different things. So how those cases should we maintain two different profile or?
Amaan, can I answer this? This is exactly like how Amaan is using my ChatGPT account. Yeah, my ChatGPT account is used by Amaan and Sunana and Jahan as well. And ChatGPT is completely confused. Okay, so sometimes if I say I need a LinkedIn post, okay, an inspiring LinkedIn post, it's a nice Sunday morning. So it comes back saying, as a 24-year-old psychology student, I'm like, I'm a 51-year-old professional. So my suggestion would be not to dilute your profile. So if you have multiple caps, multiple avatars, your LinkedIn profile will get a split personality disorder. You know, oh my God, I'm not joking. I'm not making fun of any disorders, but I'm saying it'll get confused, right? So the algorithm gets confused. Are you a trainer? Are you someone who's an operational manager? So it's better to keep multiple profiles for that, and then build your brand identity around those profiles separately. Unless you have a different opinion, Amaan. You're not allowed to disagree with me.
So thing is, that used to be a best practice. What you say, until LinkedIn introduced verifications, and now it's a gamble where if you open multiple accounts, chances are almost all of your accounts will get taken down by LinkedIn. Under the consideration that it's a duplicate account or a fake account, because you can only verify your identity for one account now. I think because a lot of people were doing this, which was really great, but then a lot of people started using it maliciously. But so now it's kind of close to impossible to maintain it. What I would suggest, this is something that I used to do with my profile, where I had different series of posts. Right. So when I was doing my undergraduate dissertation, whenever I was posting updates on that, I called it dissertation diaries post 1, post 2, post 3. So at the top of your post, put that title so that they know which cap of yours you're speaking of. So with regards to training sites, so they know immediately from the top of the post. That's what I would suggest.
Yes, Sharaf, thank you. That's exactly what Amaan is saying as well. Another option would be the page one, right? So because I used to have my professional LinkedIn account, and then when we published our first book, I used to have a destination success page linked to my profile. And that page could be anything. So Mr. Irshad could have your profile regarding your professional career, and then you could have a page related to training. Yeah, so they could coexist. Yeah.
Okay, there is one more comment. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone want to put message or raise your hand? Okay, I think, Kunji, shall we call it as end of the Q&A session? Or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. Back to MC. We have done the Q&A session. Thank you, Dr. Sangeeth, and thank you, Amaan Ibrahim, for wonderful answers from your side.
Thank you, Mr. Rafi, and thank you, Sangeeth sir and Mr. Amaan, for answering all the questions and all the queries. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to a special moment of recognition. It's time to acknowledge and honor our distinguished keynote speakers, Dr. Sangeeth Ibrahim. To do the recognition, I would like to invite Ms. Rafsina Ashfaq to kindly take over and proceed with the recognition of Dr. Sangeeth Ibrahim. Over to you, Ms. Rafsina.
Center for Information and Guidance India presents this certificate of appreciation to Dr. Sangeeth Ibrahim in recognition of your invaluable support as an inspirational keynote speaker on mastering LinkedIn, held on 7th of January 2026, signed by Engineer Muhammad Kunni, CIGI Jeddah Chapter Chairman, and signed by Mrs. Rafsina Ashfaq, Chairperson, Jeddah CIGI Women Collective.
Thank you. Well, we should thank you for the opportunity. Please keep calling us, yeah? Thank you for the opportunity to support, yeah.
MashaAllah. Wonderful session. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Moving on to our next segment of recognition, I would like to invite Ms. Majida Kunni to kindly do the recognition of our next speaker, Mr. Amaan Iqbal Ibrahim. Over to you, Majida.
Thank you. Center for Information and Guidance India presents the Certificate of Appreciation to Mr. Amaan Iqbal Ibrahim in recognition of your invaluable support as an inspirational keynote speaker on Mastering LinkedIn, held on 7th of January 2026. signed by Engineer Muhammad Kuni Umar, Chairman, CIGI Jeddah Chapter, Ms. Rafsina Ashfaq, Chairperson, Jeddah CIGI Women Collective. Thank you, Mr. Amaan.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was an amazing honor for me as well. Thank you.
Before we conclude, I would like to express a heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Sangeeth Ibrahim and Mr. Amaan Iqbal Ibrahim for your valuable time, insights, and inspiration that you have given us today. May the Almighty keep you both as an inspiration to each other and grant you success and happiness in your life. I would also like to extend a sincere appreciation to the people who tirelessly work behind the scene. Ms. Munna Qasim, Najila, Mr. Rafiq Perul, Mr. Faslin Abu Bakr, Ms. Majida Kunni, Ms. Rafsina Ashfaq, Mr. Muhammad Kunni, Ms. Shahira, and Ms. Safa, whose unwavering support played a key role in bringing this event together. Your commitment truly reflects in the success of this event. And finally, to all our participants, thank you for your active presence and enthusiastic engagement. Today's session is just a start. Stay connected with the CIGI Jeddah chapter for more inspiring sessions to come. This is Aisha Ransi signing off. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, everyone. See you, inshallah. Yeah, take it. Takabbalallah. Take it.
Mashallah, mashallah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alhamdulillah.